Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you what the Whoop can do when you actually log into the into your computer, right? So you have the app. You'll be able to figure the app out for yourself. It's not that hard, but on the computer, it'll give you even more information. So I'm going back to last Friday because I'm going to show you guys kind of what a training week looks like for me. So I woke up Friday morning ready to train. My recovery score was 71. We'll talk about that. Notice the hours of sleep was 6 hours and 5 minutes. My sleep needed was 7 hours and 39 minutes. When you go into sleep, so if you click on sleep, if you scroll down, you'll see that my time in bed was 8 hours, but I only got 6 hours and 5 minutes of sleep. I had 9 disturbances, which actually isn't a lot of disturbances for me. I averaged 16. So what counts as a disturbance isn't you waking up with your eyes open, looking around at the ceiling. You'll be shocked at what a disturbance is. Often you'll have disturbances without even knowing it. We'll talk about that stuff as we go along. But look down here. Gives you a sleep efficiency score. We'll talk about how that's calculated. But respiration rate, 14.9 respirations per minute. You guys that have watched my breathing videos over the past several 40-day challenges know how important respiration is. And the mouth taping, the nasal strips, all those things we've talked about. Guys, believe it or not, Whoop is constantly updating their information. I showed it in a previous video that I had to delete, but they just released one of the variables is nasal stripping, nasal strips. And is your dog or cat sleeping in the room? Why? Because those are disturbances. Guess what else? Humidifier, weighted blanket, all things that we've talked about almost a year ago when I made those sleep videos. Whoop is just now updating. So guys, you can listen to Tom or you can just wait till everybody else figures it out. Right here, we're talking about sleep consistency, another score we'll talk about. So now, if I scroll down further, you see right here, it shows you your deep sleep. How much of it was deep sleep? So when you roll over it, it'll show you up here where your deep sleep was. Notice the sleep cycles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I told you guys, 6 sleep cycles. Look at the REM sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that's all the light sleep in between. But how much time was I awake? 1 hour and 52 minutes. Those are all times that I was awake. So these right here are big moments where I was awake. But here, you wouldn't even necessarily know that you were awake. You're kind of just turning over, grunting. Those count as disturbances. Here, I very clearly remember being awake during these times. I've already told you guys in the past how much trouble I have sleeping. And I'm not going to go through that again, but I do all the things that I do at night in order for me to function. See right here, I had a nap, right? So if I go into my nap, I can do the same thing. I can look at my REM sleep. Look at all that REM sleep at the end. So let me scroll over again. See all that REM sleep at the end? Why? Because I told you guys, REM sleep happens mostly at the end of your sleep cycles. Deep sleep right there. So just in that nap, I got a good amount of, and then that's light sleep. So it starts off with light, then deep, and then goes into REM. Pretty standard stuff. 0 disturbances during my nap. Now, if I go into my other activities, like workouts and things of that nature, so if I just go back here, and if I go into my strain, it'll show you, where is it? Sorry. Weightlifting right there. So I had 2 different workouts. One, I don't know why that, oh, here it is, because it's right here. Duh. Let me go to that one. Sorry. My first weightlifting workout was in the morning, and you can see what my heart rate did. It's pretty standard. It went from mid 70s up to about 125, and as you rest between sets, that's pretty standard for a weightlifting workout. Shows you your duration. Calories are not going to be accurate, guys. Why? I went through a whole entire 40-day challenge explaining to you what constitutes calorie burns. Your body is a black box, And in that black box are things like your genetics, whether or not you're male or female, how well your thyroid is working, how much muscle is on your body, because muscle is far more thermogenic than fat. The factors that map onto calorie burn are tremendous. So all technology can only give you a best guess of how many calories you're burning. It is notoriously the most unpredictable thing to predict. So we're not going to pay attention to calorie burn. My weightlifting later in the afternoon was just some pull-up ladders, and notice that it was just about 15 minutes worth. So I just went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 pull-ups. Just get a little pull-up ladder going in the afternoon. Then if we go over to Saturday's my day off. So predictably my recovery is going to be pretty low because I just worked out so hard the day before. The following day is Sunday. If you look at my activity, my HIIT work right here, this is my kettlebell class. So notice I got my heart rate all the way up to 165. Notice what's happening here. Look at how many peaks and valleys there are, right? That's classic HIIT work. That's what we do during kettlebell class. Get a good idea of what you're putting out. So guys, there's lots of stuff in here. The video is getting long. I don't want to, but this is what we're going to be doing for the 40-day challenge. We're going to be going into these variables, talk about what this technology has to offer in terms of when you wake up in the morning, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. Did you take a melatonin supplement? Did you take your magnesium at night? Did you tape your nose? Eventually, it's going to ask you if you taped your mouth. I promise you that. You will notice that the thing is asking you all of the questions that we've been talking about for years and years at Fit for Life, all in one technology. And then you'll be able to track it and note for yourself what your overall scores look like, okay? So eventually, if I just scroll back in days, you want to be seeing green days, right? Yellow days, okay? That's my only red day. If I keep going back, green, 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 yellow, yellow, green, green, you'll know you're doing something right when you see only green and yellow days, guys. Now, the reason that I had that red day, I know why I had that red day. You want to know why you had a red day. But you see, as you go back, you get the idea. You want to see greens and yellows. Yellows are the days after you train. Greens are the days that you're ready to train. All right? Okay, guys, have a great rest of the day. Looking forward to the 40-day challenge. We are starting Sunday. Get your stuff ready.